What's up, everybody? Y'all are so funny in the comment section, man. Let me get this up. Okay. What's up? I've been out of the loop a little bit, taking care of my mental health. I've been kind of spaced out, and I have a crook in my neck too. But I'm gonna try to get through this episode here pretty normal. Shop merch in the store as always. This is my first version of my Truth Over Everything shirt. I love it. It feels great. It's long sleeve, my first long sleeve shirt that I'm debuting as well. Link is in the description. Shout out to this person right here. Where you go, bro? He says, Didi since day one was the only one who said this was staged, to which I agreed. I also believe Trump's attempt in Butler was also staged. Great work, Didi. By the way, I still can't believe you're 6'3", bro. Yeah, I'm 6'3". And I want to clear this up. I have not said an absolute one way or the other. What I'm saying is I haven't seen definite proof one way or the other, and I'm standing on that. All right, and the things that we're going to discuss in this video, I think we'll only speak to that. Please hit the like button on your way in if you do not mind. A lot of moving parts. No, the video title is not clickbait. In this video, we're going to discuss a little bit about Tyler Robinson. We're going to discuss some things that Candace said and how it may have unintentionally, I don't think it was her intention, but it may have gave some credence to my theory about Charlie Kirk possibly being alive. And the way in which we're going to discuss that is a conversation that someone else just had about this theory. And we're going to hear the reasons why they believe that Charlie Kirk may very well much so be alive. All right. But first, we're going to discuss Dan Bongino, former member of the FBI. You know, he returned back to podcasting. We're going to take a listen to what Dan Bongino had to say about all the people that's questioning the Epstein files. And even I think he has some things to say about us who don't believe the Charlie Kirk narrative. We're going to listen to what he had to say. And then, of course, I'm going to get into the Erika Kirk thing. So first, we're going to discuss Dan Bongino. We're going to then move into the Erika Kirk thing. And then we're going to move into Tyler Robinson. And then we're going to revisit this idea or this possibility that Charlie Kirk is alive. That I know that's not Candace Owens' position publicly, but we're going to revisit that and we're going to see if there's still enough reason to hold that out as a possibility. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into our Mr. Dan Bongino clip. And I want to remind everybody that Dan Bongino, who I believe is officially the Erika Kirk of the Epstein files. I'm going to say it again. Dan Bongino is the Erika Kirk of the Epstein files. Let's play this clip and let's see if you all agree with me after you heard what he had to say to people who has been questioning the Epstein files. This is what he had to say.
There's a third class of people. The third class of people after October 7th went crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. I stand fully, completely, and strongly against anti-Semitic bullshit.
Red herring, straw manning, all the terms. He's already hit all the bullet points. What he does is, if you haven't caught it, is he misrepresents what people are saying. He misrepresents what our issues are about this freaking country, about this freaking administration, about how serious we take PDF files and why we should prosecute them. While people say this is just hot takes on the internet, there are much more important things to deal with in the world than to care about who Jeffrey Epstein was working with. Are you out your mind? Are you out your mind? But let's hear the rest of what he has to say. And I'm gonna tell you what I really think is going on and what I think the Epstein files really revealed.
I don't know how many times I got to tell you this. It's amazing how many people think it's like the current thing to say like they hate the Jews or something. Really? You believe that? What? You realize where that's led throughout human history, absent the immorality of it?
Who said that? No, nobody said that. He's pretending that everybody is Nick Fuentes. Nobody said that, bro. Nobody's saying that they hate Jewish people. That's the only, or he's saying this because this is the only argument he has. And for those of you that says Dan Bongino was sent back out to the podcast world to be an agent on behalf of the Trump administration, right? Since the biggest voices in the conservative movement, the Candace Owenses of the world, have been entertaining these other narratives, they sent Dan Bongino out here. I have news for you. He was already a part of it. I believe that, allegedly, I believe that Dan Bongino was already a part of everything that we're seeing. But what happened was they had him to pretend as if he was one of us. So that way, when he joins the FBI, does absolutely nothing worth bragging about, when he comes back out, we have this expectation that he's going to be this great person. No, he's not. This person is an agent. And he was an agent before. Yes, that includes when he was telling us about the Bill Clinton stories, when he told us to never let the Epstein things go. He was an agent then. He was doing what they told him to do. They give us just enough. That way we trust him. So when people are saying, man, what happened to you? Nothing happened to him. He was already one of them before. That's the reason he don't check his chats unless he's muting people.
Now, you may say, oh, gosh, Dan, I can't believe that that's actually happening. Really? I promise you, go look at the Twitter. If the botting that does happen, and again, it's not all botting. The botting that does happen is very well organized. It is totally synthetic. It is all anti-Jewish nonsense. Read the comments. It's from like, I hate the Jews 101 and stuff. Just look at it. You can see it. It's so clearly fake.
Lies.
But it's an organized movement of people, and it's not a very large group of people, who've learned to amplify social media to attack anyone in the administration or outside who doesn't go and attack the Jews. 100%. Look and just read the comments. Don't take my word for it. Just go and look. Go look. You'll see it. It's everywhere. They all have the same goal. It is to dismantle this movement, take it apart from the inside, cause disruption, pick up the pieces, and rebuild it into something far different than a movement that actually conserves liberty. They all have the same goal. Libs, the anti-Jew crowd, and the Doomers. The exact same goal. Once you see it, you'll never unsee it. Look at the people sending out the messages. Look at who they associate with. Just listen to it. Just read the comments. Read their hand. They don't even hide.
He's just spewing nonsense. And it gets worse. This man goes on Twitter. For those of you that are just joining, we're going to discuss Erika Kirk next. But we have to talk about this because I'm going to try to find some time tomorrow. I know a lot of people are probably going to be watching the Super Bowl, so I may not go live tomorrow. Which, by the way, if you all are familiar with Bad Bunny, if you know who Bad Bunny is a popular musician, a high-level occultist. I've already done a video on him. Maybe I'll include that link in the description as well. I will be covering his Super Bowl halftime performance. Mark my words right now. Bad Bunny will have one of the most demonic and weird performances that you'll see ever at the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm calling it right now, and I will cover it on the show. He is a high-level occultist. But anyways, but because of the Super Bowl, I may or may not go live tomorrow, but we have to discuss so many things with the Epstein files. Them talking about this woman who said that they were eating people, eating other humans. This woman who was there talked about this. We got to talk about that. We have to discuss the fact that I believe that it's highly possible that the Epstein files is revealing, just based on what the files have said, it's possibly revealing that it probably wasn't as much blackmailing going on as we thought. Blackmailing, that is. Everything that we allege that they were doing, I believe is true, allegedly. But I'm not so sure that they were being blackmailed to do it. I believe this is what they were doing. But let me show you all what Dan Bongino said. So this is what he says here 5 hours ago. I can't thank you enough for your incredible support. Our video show racked up over 8 million views this week on Rumble. And the audio podcast is trending #1 on Spotify for the 5th straight day. Thanks again for everything. Words alone can't express my gratitude. You can subscribe free to the show here. You can subscribe free, well, of course. And I hope you have a great weekend. This makes no sense. So, first and foremost, let's read the first comment. Okay, there's new comments here. Dang, what did they comment? Someone said, here it is. Someone said, you crashed the server with how many people were telling you off in your chat. The likes on the streams don't match up with the viewpoint, and you spent lots of time muting people. When will you come to terms with reality? This dude is lying, bro. So for those of you that don't know, Rumble is actually owned by a guy named Chris Pavlovsky. And Dan Bongino, let me make sure I get this right. I want to get this information right. Dan Bongino, let me get him here up
Finally,
on the screen.
there's a third class.
So Dan Bongino here he actually owns a stock in Rumble. So you know that's where Dan Bongino is mostly stationed, on Rumble. So these viewers that he's talking about, all of that stuff is bot farming. They're lying. That many people almost unanimously, people are not messing with this guy. People see him for what he is. Dan Bongino and his company have owned Rumble stock. Bongino Incorporation, the entity wholly owned by Dan Bongino, owns tens of millions of Rumble shares. This stake has been a significant portion of Bongino's network. Dude, you're a fraud, bro. And we all know that you're a fraud. You're not fooling anybody, bro. So anyways, not that you all needed me to tell you that part, but I do need to tell you that Dan Bongino is a hack, and he's going to push, even when he says things that you agree with, you have to understand he's doing that to rope people in. So I'm going to need you all to do your part in letting other people know, because if you go on Rumble, there's a lot of people that are agreeing with Dan. They don't see Dan as somebody that's been paid for. It's on you all as regular human beings to tell them what they may not have heard yet. This person is not who they think he is. Cash Patel, none of these people. It's not just the left, it's the people on the right too. What would Brian the auditor call it? Limited hangout. These people are a limited hangout. All right. So, which by the way, Tyler Robinson. Actually, before we get to Tyler Robinson and what I believe is going to happen with his trial, let's move to Erika Kirk. Because if I speak about Erika first, it's going to work. So I deserve absolutely no credit for this. Some of you artists on the comment section have already seen the video. There's another YouTuber named Niscee, I believe Niscee Social. I will include the link in the description to this video once this live is over, where you can find her full video. I've only clipped like 3 parts of her video, so that way it forces many of you all to go and give her the views and like her video, because I did not do the research here. She did the research. But this was incredible research, because I believe this means more than what a lot of people are going to realize about Erika Kirk. The easy part is that I think it's safe to say that Erika Kirk is a predator. I'm saying that with my chest out, my whole chest. I believe that Erika Kirk is a predator. We may not be able to 100% prove what was happening with her Romanian Angels organization, but there's almost no denying this here. So let's see what Niscee had to say about Erika Kirk, the alleged PDF file.
Guys, remember this photo. This is Cabot Phillips proudly displaying to the world that he had tattooed the word pizza on the inside of his lip. And as we all know, pizza is a code word used by monsters when trying to subtly communicate about their predilections and deviant behavior, so to speak. And we all know that Cabot and Erika Kirk dated, and we all know that Erika ran a children's charity in Romania that has some very, 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 very dark accusations made against it. Well, there's something else that some people noticed about Erika. On September 30th, 2013, Erika posted this photo to her Instagram of herself eating pizza. And it's notable because it's the only photo of her on her entire Instagram page where she is eating food. I mean, she always reminds us of how much she loves In-N-Out Burger.
I want to enjoy eating my In-N-Out Burger. You really think I'm going to be on an Egyptian plane while I am wanting to be with my In-N-Out Burger?
But there are no photos of her eating In-N-Out Burger. She often talks about her Swedish heritage and talks about making Swedish meatballs with her grandparents, but there's no photos of her eating or engaging with Swedish meatballs. The only photo she has of herself eating food is this photo of her posing with a slice of pizza.
Which, by the way, I was just speaking about Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny also has a clip with his interview with the GQ magazine. Bad Bunny, who is an open occultist and open pansexual. He dresses in skirts and dresses and high heels, claims to be into men and women, all of that. Well, he has a point in the interview where he just randomly starts bragging about how much he loves pizza. Pizza.
And oddly enough, 15 days before she posted this picture, she began an interesting relationship with a 15-year-old girl named Jillian. I spent hours digging into this and even heard from Jillian herself, and I think you guys are going to want to hear this. 2 days later, on April 5th, 2014, Jillian posted this tweet, "Getting this in the mail from Erika Fransvi." And in the photo is a red box of chocolate-covered strawberries and other chocolate desserts. Now, this gift, in my opinion, is something that you would expect an adult to buy another adult that they were in a romantic relationship with, not something you would expect a 25-year-old woman going on 26 to give a teenage girl. Jillian posted this tweet on March 6, 2014. So Erika says, "Let me call you. Hold on, sweetheart. Give me a sex. Wow." And then Jillian says, "Okay," and puts laughing emojis. Erika then says, Sex too, but not from you, LOL. Holy shit, laughing emoji. You always make me laugh. I don't bat for the other team just yet. What the fuck?
Right to jail, right away.
This text exchange gave me chills. It seems like Erika was flirting with her. I don't bat for the other team just yet. Jillian tweeted, "I just want to be somebody's woman crush Wednesday. Is that too much to ask?" That evening, she then tweets, "Thank you at Erika Fransvi for making my whole week." And she shares this photo, and the photo is of a gnome, and it says, "I want to be inside your lady garden." Gnome saying,
Right to jail, right away.
These tweets are still available on Twitter as I am making this video. Tweet. "This has to be the most heartfelt compliment I've ever gotten." And she attached a screenshot of her conversation with Erika. So Jillian says, "Thank you." Erika says, "You have the most stunning features." Jillian says, "Best compliment ever." Erika says, "Your eyes, your lips, your skin, you're absolutely beautiful." Jillian responds with the crying emoji, "You're making me cry." There are dozens more tweets of them calling each other the best. "You're so beautiful. You're stunning. I love you more, blah, blah, blah."
Now, I'm going to say this again. I will include the link in the description to Niscee's video. Please go and give her video a view. Give her a subscribe. She drops great work over there on her channel. There's a few reasons why I wanted to react to this. First and foremost, Niscee does address this in her video as well. If this was a man, 25, almost 26-year-old Erika Kirk is having a conversation, texting on social media, but also texting number-wise, as you all just saw there, a 15-year-old girl. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting, though. They're texting at nighttime and things of that sort. And Niscee even speaks about in the video how here it is many years later, the young girl here who was underage at the time is now an adult. She's given a quote off the record, something to the effect of, she saw Erika as like a sister figure, right? So when she got compliments from her, it made her feel proud of herself, more confident in herself. Now, I've never been a woman before. I've never been a female, and I presume that I probably will never be a female. So I don't know what it's like. I know women's relationships with each other, you know, girls are different with each other than how men and guys are with each other. But a 25-year-old speaking to a 15-year-old, and even at one point, the girl talked about how she went to Bar Louie. We have a Bar Louie here in the city I live in. Bar Louie is a place, like what it sounds like, that has a bar. I'm trying to, let me hear from the women. Is it normal? Is it considered okay, even if you're a lot older, but you're both women, to be constantly complimenting the physical appearance of an underage girl? Because here's the thing. Some people are going to not see anything wrong with it. Some people are not going to see anything wrong with that. Not normal. So weird. Yeah, let me show the chat as you all give me your opinions. How do y'all, I want to hear from the women. No offense, Didi, but you would not be a cute girl. I agree. That's funny. I'm not offended. Okay. Something else that you all did not see in this clip. Erika Kirk, again, go and watch Niscee's video. Erika Kirk has either deleted or she's privatized or made private a lot of her responses to this girl. So we can't see what she was saying back to this baby in the on Twitter. And I wanted to show you all something about pizza. I don't know if you all ever saw this before. Just to sort of drive home this point. This is Ellen DeGeneres.
And so if I do.
This is Ellen DeGeneres at an award show. Let's hear what she had to say. And I'm going to say this before I play this clip. Remember this quote. I've shown this on my channel before, maybe a couple of years ago. I remember when I showed it, someone said to me, nah, bro, you taking her out of context. They were ordering food for the people there. Bro, these are, as I said then, I'm going to say it now. These are some of the richest people in America, in the world, really. A lot of these people are multimillionaires. Why would they be speaking about pizza? Not that they can't eat pizza, but there's, I mean, caviar and steak and all types of fancy, expensive food. But listen to what she said.
And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? Mark? All right. Too large? What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza. That's what I'll do. Please welcome our next presenter, tonight's big winner of our Scratcher Lotto card, Bradley Cooper.
That is... Every time I watch that clip, I say to myself, they're playing in people's faces. That is not a mistake, people. All you have to do is just go on YouTube and just watch certain... She's not talking about pizza. She's not talking about pizza. And Ellen DeGeneres... Maybe I need to do a whole video on Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres has been exposed. She got exposed a few years ago, if you all remember. Not only because of, I believe, the way she was treating her employees, but it was other things that was going on behind the scenes. Ellen DeGeneres is not the sweet person that people think she is. That is crazy. But, so before I forget, Erika Kirk, we may not be able to prove that the things that was said about her Romanian Angel organization was true. Certain things about the people that she was working with has been proven to be true. There was a military figure, I forget his name, who has been a convicted, and he's been charged or been in certain indictments of inappropriately transporting and touching children. These are some of the people that she was working with, right? So it leads me to believe, it leads me to believe that Erika Kirk, which I'm sure many of you all had already come to this conclusion, there's a strong chance that Erika Kirk was and or is not only a plant, but her specific role, similar to, what's her name? Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell. It's almost like she was playing that role, because as a woman, women will trust you more. Little girls will trust you more. So it makes me wonder if Erika Kirk was brought up in this to do this specific thing. I mean, right? Why would you be so comfortable doing this with the woman? I mean, with the 15-year-old girl. If you go and watch Niscee's video, you'll understand more of what I mean. Right? But that leads me to my other point. So Erika Kirk went on Fox News, as I'm sure some of you all have seen. I don't have the clip here. Erika Kirk went on Fox News and she said she wants there to be a speedy trial, and she also wants this trial to not leave anybody with the impression that someone else could have done this to her husband. That is a very weird thing to say. How do you know that Tyler Robinson did this? That's what she said. But furthermore, she said that she don't want to rely on the internet to tell her other theories. Now, in my opinion, as a matter of fact, let's see if we can find the clip. Let's see. Erika Kirk on Tyler Robinson. Let's see if I can show this to you all. Okay, Tyler Robinson on Fox News. Let's see if we can pull this up. Okay. Okay, maybe not. I don't want to waste too much time because there's something else that we need to get to. But anyways, she said this. Let me tell you all what I think is going to happen with the Tyler Robinson case. I believe Tyler Robinson will be found not guilty. Yes, you heard me correct. I believe he will be found not guilty because here's the thing. People cannot forget this. In order to convict Tyler Robinson, they have to prove that what he's been accused of, they have to prove that he did this beyond a reasonable doubt. Remember, their argument is that a lone shooter by the name of Tyler Robinson pow-powed Charlie Kirk from however many feet away, yards away, on the first try with a 30-06. It didn't shatter his neck. It didn't blow out the back of his neck. And many experts have come out and said this is almost impossible. It's virtually impossible. That right there seals the case. For those of you that don't know, you can't convict somebody if what you're arguing is highly unlikely. From what I've seen so far, and again, we're going to cover this in another live. I'm just gathering more information, so I'm not just spewing off the top of my head. But from what I've seen so far, the prosecution's job right now is to try to prove the impossible. That's what they're trying to do, y'all. They're trying to prove the impossible. They're trying to prove how it is in rare cases that you can pow somebody with a 30-06 from however many yards away. The bullet connects with his body, doesn't blow out the back of his neck, and the bullet ricochets through his body and stays in his body. And we've yet to find a bullet. That's not good news. Coming into this case as the prosecution, you have to prove beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt that he did this. That alone shatters your case. Any argument you can make. You know? And that's part of the reason why I think Erika Kirk is saying this. But let's move to another theory, though. Charlie Kirk. I'm just curious. I'm not going to stop because I know people don't like it when I do that when they're watching it back. But I am curious. Do you all believe that Charlie Kirk is alive? Give me a 1 in the chat if you believe so. Give me a 2 in the chat if you do not believe so. I'm going to give it about 10 seconds, and then we're going to move on, and we're going to continue this. We're going to move on to the next step. 1 if you believe he's alive. 2 if you do not. Okay, it's about split down the middle. And I understand if you fall on either side. Now, before we move to this next clip, I want to run this by you. Candace Owens, in her last live, she shared a story about something, and I know this was not her intention, but I'm here to entertain any theories that make the most sense to me. Candace went live, I believe, Thursday, and she finally, because I don't believe she's ever spoken on this publicly, she finally revealed why she left TPUSA. In short, what she said was that she found out that Charlie Kirk had apparently met with a guy in Florida, a funder in Florida, and I believe I could be misquoting her here, but I believe she said that she wasn't the most fond of the guy. Anyways, up until that point, whenever Charlie would be a part of these sort of conversations, Candace said that she was always a part of those conversations. She said that she found out, she didn't share how she found out, but she found out that Charlie had went to Florida and met with this guy. They were somewhere, I believe in Vegas, somewhere in the Trump Tower, and they were getting ready to go up the elevator, and she decided to ask Charlie, when's the last time he had spoke to this particular funder? Charlie Kirk told Candace Owens, according to Candace, that it had been a while, a few weeks. Candace says that she was in complete disbelief how he looked her in her face and lied to her. And she corrected him right there in that moment. She said, no, Charlie, you met with him yesterday. You literally just met with him yesterday. And she said that she could see Charlie Kirk's face. She said she could see his stomach drop. Why am I talking about this? She said that this was what led to her leaving TPUSA. Now, she never goes into details on if she left on her own or if Charlie asked her to leave. If Charlie asked her to leave, then that's different. Why am I talking about this? Well, that right there told me a few things. It told me that Charlie and Candace's relationship wasn't what it once was. I don't believe that they were quote unquote beefing with each other, but I don't believe that it was what it once was. I'm also interested in how the conversation went that led to her leaving. So in other words, not the story I just shared was the situation that led to her leaving. But I want to know what the conversation was like where it was communicated that Candace would no longer be with them. Whether it was them firing Candace or Candace leaving on her own. Was it over a phone call? Was it a text message? Because remember, around the time that Charlie Kirk was hiring all these new people, we heard it from the TPU or the ex-TPUSA employee that was just fired. If you all saw that video, we heard her say it. Charlie started hiring all these new people. She knew that things were changing. She didn't like the direction that things were going. Well, around the same time was when Charlie Kirk met Erika Kirk, or Erika Frontsby at the time. Do y'all believe it's a coincidence that all of these people came in, including Erika, around the same time? Of course not. Let's move it a step further, because I'm going somewhere with this. Charlie hires all these new people. There's this sudden shift that takes place at TPUSA. Erika Kirk is one of those new people that comes into Charlie's life. He then lies to Candace Owens about a meeting that he had with a guy in Florida. Why would he lie about that? It's one thing to take the meeting without Candace and not tell her. It's another thing to be asked about when you saw the funder last and then lie about it. He didn't want Candace to know. Why didn't he want Candace to know? I think we can put that together. But maybe we can't. Let's keep going. We're going somewhere with this. Shortly after that, whether they fired her or she left on her own, she then left. Candace was no longer with TPUSA because she found out that Charlie Kirk was accepting funding and meeting with people without her knowledge, even though she was usually a part of this. Yes, it's Charlie's organization. Why would you lie about this? It's your organization, right? What this told me was that there were larger things at play that Candace didn't know about. Before, people were entertaining the possibility that this entire Charlie Kirk psyop, maybe Candace is a part of it. Maybe she's playing her role. And for anybody that entertained that theory, I totally understood it. You are justified for at least entertaining the possibility. But I told you all early on, while it's still possible, I don't believe that's the case. And I first and foremost, I don't believe it's the case because if you just watch Candace's episodes, she's not trying to trick anybody. The woman was talking about things she was talking about Freemasonry. Constantly, she did it on at least 5 or 6 episodes. She's mentioned Freemasonry and went into details. You're not doing that if you're trying to trick us. Furthermore, if you watch her, we can normally tell if a person's being genuine or not. Now she's full-blown going out to Erika. Up until a month ago, she wasn't. She was looking at everything publicly but Erika Kirk. Now she's even talked about doing a whole little short documentary series on Erika Kirk's life. Why is this important? If Charlie started holding important information back from Candace, which led to Candace leaving TPUSA, that means that there were probably other things at play that Candace didn't know about in Charlie's life. Like Charlie Kirk fearing for his life and telling everybody around him that he feared for his life, but he never told Candace. Anybody notice that? He never told Candace, and this isn't a knock at Candace. It's just we entertaining what we have in front of us. He never told Candace that he feared for his life. He told other people around him at TPUSA. Why would he not tell Candace? Because maybe, I'm not saying this true. I don't know if Candace watches this show or not. I'm not saying that. Maybe because a person or two that he told that he fears for his life, maybe they came up with a theory or an idea or a plan like I entertained months ago as to how Charlie Kirk can keep his life. Similar to what they're saying about Jeffrey Epstein. I saw the photo. For those of you that don't know, let me see if I can pull it up. They're saying that they saw Jeffrey Epstein in Israel. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Where is the photo? Where is the photo? Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. They're saying that they saw Jeffrey Epstein in the blue and white state. You see it? They're saying that this is your boy. And I even saw somebody that did a side-by-side. And listen, I have to be honest, man, it looked a lot like the dude. It looks a lot like him. A lot like him. All right. So Is it possible that this could have been what happened to Charlie Kirk? I entertained this theory months ago, I think like a week after everything happened. But now they're having these conversations on much bigger channels. Jimmy Dore interviewed our man's what's his name? Jesse on Fire. And I will include the link to that video as well in the description. Part of the reason why I wanted to entertain this is because for those of you that entertained the fact that Candace could have been in on it, I think this kind of shows that it's possible that she's not, and that she's truly concerned about what happened. So let's go to this video and let's see what they're talking about. And let's see how it lines up with some of the things that we have been saying on this channel for maybe 4 months now. Maybe they have different theories.
And people being suspicious because her emotional makeup makes absolutely no sense at all. I mean, the last time that I covered, like one of the recordings that Candace played, I was like, look, we got basically two options. Either Erika is an alien or Charlie's alive. Like, I don't know how else to read her behavior, because there is no person who can be completely devoid of grief in this situation, just like the rest of these people seem to be.
Yeah. That sounds familiar. For those of you that have been following the channel, it's the same conclusion that many of us have come to. And I'm not talking about she's not human or Charlie is alive. I personally believe there's three explanations as to what could be happening. One, Erika Kirk is not a human being. And that would explain how she's been so devoid of emotion. That's indicative of somebody that's truly grieving. Two, Erika Kirk is a psychopath, and she was in on it. Or three, Charlie Kirk is alive. And that would explain, because it's hard to fake tough emotions if you know he's okay. And I don't mean not human as in like a joke. I mean, I'm serious. I don't care what people think about me, bro. I'm telling you, when I look at her eyes, I don't get the vibes of a human. I'm not. Erika Kirk may very well much so be a human being. I'm not saying that she's not. I'm telling you, when I look at that woman's eyes, something's off, and I'm standing on it. But let's continue.
But so that's like, if I'm giving them benefit of the doubt, they feel like they're kind of defending Charlie.
The lies are so blatant, and and they never want to talk about the lies that Candace has caught the people at TPUSA in. Just the contradictions of, well, we weren't allowed to fly a drone. Frank Turek saying, no, we were flying a drone. We were looking at him in real time. And so so that's shocking to me, that how people can just completely ignore that she's catching them in lies. And the fact that they're not upset about the lies coming from the TPUSA crowd, I think is very telling. It's very telling. But what do you make of I have my theory about why TPUSA is engaged in an obvious cover-up and lying.
I do too.
Do you have a theory?
Oh, man. I've been back and forth on when I wanted to bring this out and be very straightforward about it. I would just at least let me think about how I want to present this, because
you want to take a break.
I already know that if I put this out absent the supporting video evidence and then just kind of presenting it piece by piece, it's going to sound completely insane. But I have been looking. I'll tell you how I got to my theory, so it'll sound less crazy. So when I saw, obviously, like we said, Erika's behavior makes no sense. It just makes no sense. And so you're left with like psychopath, alien, Charlie's not dead. And I looked at this case in detail. I mean, like I covered every single aspect of this thing. Every time that there was a new clue, I looked into it. Every time there was a new story, I did a story on it. I said what I thought it was. I looked at every single possible thing. And so when I saw the video of her on that, the Amazing Race audition with that guy, and they kind of, they were sharing it maybe week before last, and they're like, look at her. She's saying sex sells. That's not Christian. And I'm like, all right, but what this is to me is I'm getting to see what she's like before this incident, kind of shaped our opinion of her. She seems totally normal. Like she seems totally normal to me, like in those videos. And then I saw the video of her kind of draping herself over Charlie the night that Trump won. And I'm like, man, also seems normal. And Charlie seems to very much trust her and they seem really close. I can't make this make sense. Then Candace played that recording of her after the memorial and she's elated. There's no grief, like none. And that's when I started going, dude, is it insane to think it's possible that he could actually be alive and this is a huge publicity stunt?
Why? Before I say this, man, because this is going to sound a bit harsh. This is no knock to Jesse. Shout out to Jesse on fire. Respect you, brother. This is no knock to you at all. This is actually a general message to just people in general. Not that you all need my advice. If you believe something and you have good reason to believe it, say it. Say it. Who cares what people think about you? Say it. You're cheating yourself if you don't. Or you could be cheating somebody else who already think about this. The humanity in us is telling us something, but because we don't hear it, there's people out there that are true followers. It's not wrong to be a follower. Everybody's not meant to be leaders. I just happen to be a leader. Maybe other people are waiting to see if other people think or see it too. Just say what you feel. No, to answer Jesse's question, no, brother, it's not insane to entertain what common sense could be telling you. I'm not saying it's common sense that it's obvious Charlie Kirk is alive. What I'm saying is, what is the evidence telling us? What is the evidence not telling us? And just take it for face value, right? Or instead of just taking it for face value. Let's listen to but in fairness to Jesse, let's listen to what led him to entertain this theory. Tell me if any of this sounds familiar.
And so at that point, I went and started looking back, and I'm telling you, like, I'm going to put this video out either tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon as kind of like the starting point. But every single thing that I've looked at from that day that I just was going, what is going on? Why are they behaving like this? If you insert publicity stunt, it answers it. Every single one, literally without exception.
PSYOP. Publicity stunt can work. But the more appropriate term here is PSYOP. And the reason why the more appropriate term here is a PSYOP is because publicity stunts is fake relationships. Like Justin Bieber is dating such and such. A lot of those relationships are publicity stunts. They're faking that so that they can sell more albums. They're faking that so that they can build their fan base. That's a lot of the times what a publicity stunt is. Right? What's another great example of a publicity stunt? Like a fight that takes place between, like Kim Kardashian. A lot of the stuff that happens with Kim Kardashian are publicity stunts. A lot of that stuff is for marketing. What are they marketing? No. A PSYOP. Because this is implicating the government at the highest level, military at the highest level. That's a PSYOP. Where is it at? Shout out to the merch store. PSYOP. That's what it is. Let's continue.
You got Farnsworth on the wall. They shot Charlie. It's like the least convincing thing I've ever seen. You got Mike McCoy, who just like gets on the phone and starts walking away the second that Charlie gets shot. You've got Charlie getting carried to the truck. There's no blood trail. These guys with the first aid bags walk up and try to help. They're like, nope, we don't need any help from first aid. They carried him. He has a neck wound. That makes no sense. You've got you've got people afterwards who are behaving like there's nothing else. And then there's about 10. You got the security guards over him. They're like smiling at each other while they've got a principal who supposedly just got his head blown off.
Right. But not only that, they take him to the SUV. Yes, you shouldn't wait for the ambulance if you have a way to get him to the hospital and it could potentially save his life. Those 2 or 3 minutes could make all the difference in the world. Why was there no ambulance there to begin with? Don't tell me it was a slip up. It wasn't a slip up. All the slip ups in one day. You told us that you didn't have a drone. We found out you did have a drone. Y'all did this on purpose. Stop lying. They're insulting the public's intelligence. You immediately get him to the SUV where nobody else can see him. Nobody else can see what's happening. You take him to a hospital. But the doctor that allegedly saw Charlie, we understand that it was, remember this, it was Google searches. I believe Baron Corbin, before he rose into prominence, when his searches was first coming to fruition, she was one of the people. She apparently just got out of a relationship, I believe, with another woman, or something's weird with her. I forget what exact. I don't know if she was doing transgender surgeries. It was something off with that woman. But it was Google searches from of her name in Israel before September 10th. She just accepted the job too. She was newer to the job. She was there for like less than a year. Y'all really? In Utah, one of the military and Mormon and Freemason capitals of the country. Oh, okay. Okay.
None of it makes any sense unless what? You got Kash Patel, who blocks he blocks Tulsi from looking into whether there's foreign intelligence. All of these things are so bizarre by themselves. And then you're like, well, what if it's a publicity stunt? And it literally, every single question that I've had, it's like, man, I don't know. Because it sounds insane. But
yes, it sounds insane. But let's go a step further before I forget. I don't mean to just keep pausing at y'all, but y'all have to understand this. Because for those of you that are saying, nope, I don't believe it. I believe Charlie was a victim of it. He trusted these people. He was surrounded by crooks. Here's my biggest, there's a reason I gave the Candace Owens story a few minutes ago. I know that this is going to come off as harsh, because if Charlie is really no longer here, then you're going to have to forgive me, because this is not meant to sound insensitive. But here's the truth. And if Candace sees this is just the truth. Charlie Kirk was hiring these people around him. He was, quote unquote, married to Erika. He had that bad of a judgment. You want me to believe that his judgment in people was so bad that he made the right decision with picking you, Candace, as a friend, but then he cut you out his life and then just went on this streak of just adding nothing but shady, snakish, untrustworthy, questionable people around him nonstop? Erika, Tyler Boyer, and his alleged thing for boys. Alleged things. I don't know that to be true. But what makes it even worse is the video clip I'm about to show you of Mikey McCoy and Erika. Erika standing on this table is weird. He has, whatever the lady was, I forget her name, the one that was with Erika when she showed up to UVU campus or to the hospital, instead of her mother was with, there was another woman. What's her name? Casey Sheridan? Something like that? The Sheridan lady. Yes, Stacy Sheridan. So you said that you told Charlie that it was something weird about her. You don't think he knew that? He can't see what you see? We got to use our common sense here. That's all I'm saying. As much of a chance that he was set up, as much as a possibility that this man staged it. That's just what it is, man. Hey, that's a bar. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give you a shout out for that one. Diddy got a point, Cass. I like that. That's a bar. All right. It's just the truth. Making Mikey McCoy the chief of staff. Rob McCoy. All of a sudden, Charlie's not this bright person who can see what you can see. But he's sneaking and he's meeting with people who are questionable and trying to offer them these hundreds of tens of millions of dollars. And he's not telling you that he's meeting with these people. Charlie, I'm not just saying Charlie deserves some flack here. I'm going the next step. And I'm saying this is more than just a little bit of bad judgment. It has to be. Because if Charlie just wasn't the brightest person, I would give you the benefit of the doubt. Charlie was a bright dude, regardless of how you felt about him. You can't take his intellect away. all of a sudden he's the worst decision maker, the worst judgment of character in the history of the world. All of a sudden he can't see what Ben Shapiro apparently didn't like Charlie. Why is Ben Shapiro having an interview with why is Charlie having an interview with Ben Shapiro, what, a day, 2 days before everything happened? Why? Where he said to Ben, maybe we need to start at least questioning Israel. Remember, do you all remember that clip? And Ben gave him that weird look, like, are you sure you want to go there? Why are you meeting with him if you know that he don't like you and he tried to sabotage your company and your career? It's kind of like the question, why does Charlie Kirk have, what's the weird dude name? The Timu version of Ben Shapiro, the Great Value version of Ben Shapiro, the off-brand. What's the dude's name? The one that said that we should make public executions legal again. What's that dude's name? The one that constantly trying to sell a book. Josh Hammer, thank you. Josh Hammer. Somebody said they really believe that Charlie was naive. Look, I believe that there is some truth to that. I'm not giving you flack for having that opinion, but come on, guys. That naive though? Everybody around him? The things that we just watched a video that was exposing the fact that Erika Kirk was having these inappropriate conversations with a 15-year-old girl. I don't swing on that side. I'm not into girls. I'm not into women as of yet. This is a woman that's Christian talking like this. I'm not saying that it's not, I'm just saying, really? He didn't know any of these things that we found out about Erika. In 3 months, we found out more about Erika Kirk than Charlie knew in 4 years, 3 years. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, nah.
I don't know what else to make of all of this stuff except if there's like one solution. Anyway, I'm gonna put it together. I'm not saying that is definitely the case by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know what it is, but that's the first thing that I looked at that answered more than like one question in a vacuum.
See, that's what I'm saying. I understand he's on a big platform, so you want to make sure. I would just say allegedly, or I'm just saying, if I was having this interview with Jimmy, what I would say is, I'm not saying that this is definite, but I am saying that it's a possibility. I think framing it the way that he did, I think he's just trying to lessen or soften the backlash that he may receive. Because he know that most people, even if they can clearly see that this is a psyop or that we're being lied to, he know that most people believe that Charlie was taken out. They believe that Charlie was a victim of it. And I understand why people believe that. I'm just one of those people on 50-50. I'm still 50-50 for all the reasons that he listed and other. Listen. I'm going to just ask this. I'm going to ask this question again. What better explanation would explain all the anomalies? Mikey McCoy immediately turned around on the phone. Why are the security members smiling? Why were the white and the black girl back there by the Wagoneers? Why were they recording? Everything was coordinated. Why was the guy who took the SD card out of the camera? Why did he go behind and say, oh my gosh, they shot Charlie. Oh my God, pray for us. God have mercy on his soul. Click up. Huh? Your acting skills are almost worse than Erika's. And that says a lot.
Is it possible? It seems like it would answer a lot of questions, but I don't know. I don't know.
So you're saying that if Charlie's still alive and this whole thing is just a publicity stunt that answers the questions, that's what you're saying?
Like if Charlie juked it, like if Charlie put it all together and it was some kind of publicity stunt, if there were instead, like he faked it,
And Jimmy is probably going to ask, why would he do that? And I'm looking at Jimmy's face. So let me hear what Jimmy's going to say first. And I'm going to tell Jimmy why Charlie would do that.
And they did it for, because you'd have to get into motive. That's why I'm going to need like multiple things. Here's the thing. If he's dead, I think it's a leftist. To tell you, since it happened until about 72 hours ago, I was 100% convinced, I was never movable, that it was the leftists, and I just thought there was a much bigger conspiracy around those guys. That would have been like the less make people think I'm insane answer, because that's what I've been convinced of since it happened.
Wait, what in the world? What just happened? Did he just say if Charlie is deceased, it was a leftist that did it? Did I hear him right? Chat, talk to me. Did I just hear him say that? I'm so confused on what this. Let me go back.
Together, and it was some kind of publicity stunt. If they were instead, like, they faked it, and they did it for, because you'd have to get into motive. That's why I'm going to need like multiple things. Here's the thing: if he's dead, I think it's a leftist.
Okay, I saw somebody in the chat that said Jesse flip flops and goes back and forth. Dog, what? What are you talking about here? I'm so confused. How do you follow this case? How do you just make an argument? A leftist? Jesse, let me find out that you limited hangout too, bro. Let me find out that you here to mislead people, and I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna expose you next, bro. That is wild. A lefty did it? The whole purpose of us calling this a psyop, not a publicity stunt. The fact that you even calling that makes me feel a little suspicious about you. It's not no publicity stunt. It's a psyop. It's a psyop either way, because if Charlie faked it, it's a psyop. If Charlie didn't fake it and he was set up, it's still a psyop, because the story that they're telling us is not true. And it wasn't no freaking leftist. Stop saying that nonsense. I'm not even going. I'm gonna play another minute of this, and then I'm gonna take y'all to the Erika Kirk, Mikey McCoy clip.
Tell you, like, since it happened until about 72 hours ago, I was 100% convinced, I was never movable, that it was the leftists, and I just thought there was a much bigger conspiracy around those guys. That would have been like the less make people think I'm insane answer, because that's what I.
So what you think? I'm still trying to understand. Are you arguing that a leftist did it, but the government put them up to it? Let's be clear what my position is here. I think that Tyler Robinson may have played some role. Do I believe what they're telling us happened? No, I don't. No. Don't insult my intelligence, bro. How do we have the camera footage from the roof so we can see him on the roof, but we can't see the same camera angle that it's been proven Ian Carroll and other people have went to the campus? The same camera that shows or angles to show this person, because I don't think it was Tyler Robinson on the roof either, for the record. They show this person running off the roof. That same camera can actually pan out and cover, and also gets and captures the part of the roof where he allegedly took the took the shot. Why haven't we been able to see that footage? That doesn't ruin your case. Dude, what are you talking about, man?
I've been convinced of since it happened.
So you think it's plausible that the Tyler Robinson somehow got a gun up on that roof, but even though it wouldn't fit in his backpack, it wouldn't fit down his.
Oh,
and then he got up there, and then he somehow assembled it, and then
get him, Jimmy. That's what I'm talking about. Get him, Jimmy. Exactly.
And set up the shot, took the shot. We only needed one. And then he had to take the gun apart again, left the screwdriver there, and nobody saw him. Nobody saw him. So that's got to take at least a couple of minutes. A guy with a rifle, a long gun on top of a roof. Nobody saw him. The cops didn't see him. The security didn't see him. Although there was a guy in the crowd, according to Candace, who she's talked to, said he did see, and he's a ballistics expert, and he said that guy never took the shot. This guy he saw. So only guy who saw him. Again, so you don't find that kind of stuff suspicious when you say it had to be a leftist? You mean Tyler Robinson?
Oh, no. I mean, that's what I'm saying is, like, I feel like, I was convinced, not necessarily that he did it, but by the number of clues that I found online that showed foreknowledge from groups that were like, I mean, I'm not talking about like normal leftists. I'm talking like crazy, like hardcore, whatever those groups are,
Right.
like I found.
I think he's talking about Destiny. Many of you all may not have watched it or been around for this time, but I had a guy named Kelvin. Shout out to Kelvin if you see this clip, bro. Kelvin exposed. All right. So the last guy who asked Charlie Kirk a question was a kid by the name of, what's his name, y'all? What's his name? It's escaping me. Dang it. Somebody's about to tell me. But the kid, whatever his name was, his dad is Jimmy Kimmel's boss. Kozak. Thank you. Kozak. Hunter Kozak just so happened to be the last person asking Charlie Kirk a question, and the question that he was asking Charlie Kirk was about transgender violence. Charlie Kirk was allegedly pow-powed on cue when this happened. This same Hunter Kozak can be seen moments before Charlie Kirk arrived doing something that appeared to look like he was rehearsing. Who stands around and just does this? Why would you be doing that? That just so happened to be the person that was asking, stop it, man. Stop it. 375 coincidences a part of this situation. Okay. If y'all want to entertain, I'm just saying. But anyways, Hunter Kozak is allegedly a part of a group with Destiny that were super radical about conservatives, about the Charlie Kirks of the world, So if he's entertaining that, I get it. But even under those circumstances, you don't get to pull something like this off as clean as it happened. Unless, nah, bro. And here's the thing. It still won't explain the neck injury, bro. How did they pull that off? They're not responsible for his microphone. They're not responsible for the microphone in his hand or the Rode mic. Some radical leftists is not responsible for setting that up for Charlie Kirk. His team is. Or the school. So maybe the school, maybe from that angle.
I found a person on named Sky Valdez who was a suspect for a short period of time and then kind of just disappeared, that had a painting that they put on their social media, then tried to delete, but we found it on the Wayback Machine from a month before. So it was like August 14th, and it was a guy in a prone position on top of a roof with a rifle, and it had 9/10/2024 on it on their social media, and they tried to delete it. That same person had a song out on they have like the SoundCloud, and one of the names of the song was Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, and it was a month before. So that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why I was so convinced. I'm like, this has to be these guys. And then there were all these reports of 20 to 21 different accounts that were like, wait till you see Charlie get killed on 9/10 or whatever. You got
okay. I'm just going, because I'm really trying to figure out what happened. Let me just put it this way so I don't come off as disrespectful. I'm really trying to figure out what happened for multiple reasons. And I think if you're all over the place, that it's going to make people either just give up or believe the opposite of what you're saying. I'm really trying to figure out, based on credible things, bro. I'm gonna just get this off my screen. And that Wayback Machine, whatever it is, people need to be careful with that. I may need to look into it and do an entire video on that. That could be a tool to trick people so that other agendas can be pushed. They can be putting whatever they want into the... Nah, bro. But let me show you all this video of Erika last. I meant to show this before, but let me show it to you. This is a video of Erika Kirk and Mikey McCoy at some meeting. And tell me if you notice anything off here.
Meeting because Charlie had to fly back to Palm Beach with the president. And it's crazy to look back and you just kind of see the Lord kind of knitting his own beautiful image that sometimes we just.
Y'all, I'm going to just be honest with you. When I first watched this clip, when it first started playing, there was no audio. I promise you, watch this. I promise you, I thought this was a sign language expert. Watch the first 8 seconds of this video with no audio. I thought this was a sign language expert. Like, what is all this? What is that, bro? What in the world is that? What is that? He's having a normal conversation doing that with his hands. I don't know any men that do that. But let's continue.
Staff meeting because Charlie had to fly back to Palm Beach with the president. And it's crazy to look back and you just kind of see the Lord kind of knitting his own beautiful image that sometimes we just don't always see. But we're blessed to be here for the second staff meeting at Invest with you.
So tell me, what does that video show to you, Stu?
I mean, she's literally on a pedestal. The only thing missing here is the big palm leaves and the bowl of grapes that these people are supposed to feed her. She is literally standing on top of a coffee table, elevating herself above everybody, holding that microphone and just smiling ear to ear. And what I hate about that whole exchange, other than the fact that, you know, all these people at Turning Point USA are latent closeted homosexuals. And, you know, whatever somebody wants to do, that's on them. But to be out here pretending that you're something different. And you could totally tell Mikey McCoy there. I mean, nobody has gestures like that. This guy, Matthew Tucciarone, is an openly gay guy. And, you know, he was telling me in conversation off the air leading up to our interview, he's like, I don't even behave like this. I don't flail my arms around and make these gestures. I mean, these people are just, they're flamers. But for him to invoke God into all of this and say, all of this is because of God. Charlie's death is just a part of God's plan for all of us to be able to be here in this spot at this America Fest, to have all these people, to have all of this money, to have all of these blessings, to have all of this attention, and to have you leading us again. And at the beginning of that, it was kind of cut off. But what he was referring to there is 2 years previous to that, Charlie Kirk unexpectedly had to go like travel with the president or something. And so he wasn't in these, you know, preparation type planning meetings for America Fest that year. And he's like kind of reliving that. And he's saying, you know, just like then, it's just so great to have you leading us. And his body gestures at the end of that, I know that language. I know body language very well. I was a bounty hunter for 15 years. I know when you're lying. I know when you're putting on a show. I know when you're nervous. And this guy is so nervous because if you don't comply here, if you don't go along, if you don't follow this very careful plan that has been set forth by Erika and by her handlers, by her paymasters, by her associates, her affiliates, that she brags and boasts about having relationships with.
And we know that because the TPUSA employees said this. They said Erika brags about how Mossad will immediately do something for her. And they said she would make it sound as if she's joking, but other people were saying behind closed doors that they knew that she wasn't joking. Why would you joke about something like that after Charlie was allegedly taken out? Who jokes about that? And before Charlie was allegedly taken out as well.
Kill you. They will kill you. And they proved that on September 10th. But the way that he said, and we're just so happy, and he kind of like jerked his body, that is a very nervous reaction. I've seen it. It's textbook. This guy literally fears for his life, but he invokes God. She's putting herself on this pedestal, and that's all her. Somebody pushed that thing over there. She climbed up on that thing, and she elevated herself. It's disgusting.
It's just a very weird thing to elevate yourself. But let me say right now, before many of you all leave this video, if you are wondering what would be the motive of Charlie Kirk doing this, I've shared this many times on this channel. I've shared it on Patreon before, like I said, like a week after the fact of what I was noticing and just my Innocent thoughts, man. Like, again, this could not be true. He may have really lost his life, unfortunately. But I'm saying if that did not take place that day, what would be the motive? The motive would be is that this could have taken place. So Charlie Kirk could have decided, let me get ahead of this. I see where this could be going. What if we did X, Y, and Z and got me up out of here before they actually did it? I want to actually live my life. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having to follow their orders. For several months now, it's been ramping up, this whole Israel thing. Everybody around me can clearly see that what we're doing by supporting this foreign nation is wrong. I'm the one of the very few people on the right, especially of my caliber, of my status. I'm one of the few voices left that is supporting this nation that is clearly in the wrong. I'm losing stock. I'm losing supporters. Every video I post, they're clowning me. I'm pretending like I don't see it. People like Josh Hammer is out here telling people that I'm taking talking points from him when I'm a much better debater and talker than he is. And I'm much smarter than him. Yet I need to go to him to get advice on what to say. How many talks does Charlie Kirk need on what to say about Israel? You only need that for two reasons: if you're uneducated or if you're lying. If you're uneducated on the topic, you need to be educated on it. Charlie Kirk was already educated. So what does that leave? That means Charlie Kirk was trying to figure out other talking points to deal with these students who was going to be grilling him about why it is that you're standing up for these people. Right? And we eventually saw that he was changing at the end. And Charlie Kirk may have decided, look, after the meeting in the Hamptons, I got to get up out of here. I see where this is going. They've said some things. You had whatever that lady was that texted me and was trying to use the Bible, talking about why I need to be supporting Jews. What's the lady's name? I forget her name too. The nasty text messages she was sending Charlie. He's like, I've seen this before. JFK. Did I say that out loud? Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I also believe that about Mikey McCoy. I'm not going to say the actual words, but what I just heard this man allege is possible about Mikey McCoy. I've been saying that for a very long time. That's just and I don't say that as ad hominem. I say that I just truly believe that about that man. I don't think he's being publicly honest about that. Maybe his wife, maybe the people in his personal life know. But it doesn't help when you got people like Tyler Boyer there as well. All of these people are part of the PSYOP. Somebody said there was a lot of red liquid. Where? No, Rebecca. And I know you mean well, but where? Where? What you're talking about is what we saw when it first allegedly took place. Why do we not see anything from the side and nothing from the back? Why do we see it from the front? And what we saw, there have been videos out there, and of course, and again, we've covered this, where this supposed red liquid hit his shirt, and then we saw like that shirt white again. I'm not so sure. I'm just going to say this to be safe. I don't know what I saw exactly. I'm not so sure what I saw. Again, it's possible the brother could have lost his life. I'm not saying that it's not. But I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50. If you show me more evidence to suggest the fact, I'm like, all right, cool. And it also doesn't help that we haven't seen his body. Not that we're supposed to, not that we have the right to, in respect to his family. But I'm just saying, when reports are coming out that Erika hasn't even revealed to his loved ones where he was buried because he hasn't been buried yet, because that's something. What did she say? She said in the interview, can she at least have something to herself? Y'all, it doesn't help. That doesn't help. I'm going to end this video off with this. What would make the most sense? And if you're objective, I'm going to find out if you're objective or not. What would make the most sense here? Would it make the most sense when you have Mikey McCoy virtually unaffected, unbothered, immediately walks away on the phone? No panicking, no screaming, no ducking, no looking for other active shooters, none of that. The security detail was smirking and calm. None of them were talking to each other. Why are you not yelling and talking and directing and working? No. All of them were moving and doing stuff under the table without speaking. Huh? Isn't this a shock to you? Aren't you surprised? Why is nobody talking to each other? Why is everybody wearing sunglasses? Why are they giving hand motions and arm movements right before everything took place? When you look at the behavior of the white girl with the MAGA hat that was to Charlie's right, he gets pow, goes down. She doesn't even look at Charlie. We went over this 3 or 4 times on this channel. She doesn't even look at Charlie. She calmly walks away, not runs, not ducking, not screaming, not yelling, not crying. She calmly walks away. The numbers are stacking up. These are young people we're talking about. The young people was in on it too. They set up Charlie too. The white girl and the black girl at the back by the Wagoneers. Nobody was frantic, running, ducking, afraid for their life. Calm, cool, collected, looking forward as Charlie's being carried to the Wagoneer. Okay. What would make the more sense? What would better explain that? They set up Charlie, or nothing really happened to Charlie. I'm gonna let you all answer that for yourselves. All right, I'm gonna get to your comments. All right, I already read that. Hey yo, Didi got a podcast. I appreciate it. I almost forgot, man. I'm not gonna lie, I almost forgot. But Didi got a podcast. I remember now. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Shadowed Oz, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Didi, thank you for your content and your time. Thank you. I appreciate your money and I appreciate your contribution and your support. Absolutely. Always be true. Thank you so much for the $15 super chat. Thank you, Didi. The world needs to know what Erika Fran's feet is. Though we need to understand her upbringing. Her parents must have shaped her this way. I agree. I got some other stuff, like I referenced this in my last video about Kendrick Lamar. If you saw my live about the Epstein files, Jay-Z, the rapper Pusha T, and their connections to Epstein, you might want to go and check out my last video about Kendrick Lamar. He just won some Grammys. We all know the Grammys and what the Grammys really are and what it's really about. We've exposed that many times on this channel, but if you don't know, go and check out my Kendrick Lamar video. I think you'll be pretty surprised. It's about a 30-minute video, and it's well worth it, I promise. Miss Elaine, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Didi, you are on it. I was about to say the word pizza is used in the industry in Hollywood. Absolutely it is. All the time. They use it for a code word for children, allegedly. Also, once this video ends, hop in the comment section. If at least 200 of you, if at least 200 people comment the word pizza, I will do a full video on Pizzagate and what that was really about. I'll do an entire video on it to fill you all in. For those of you that may know a little bit, maybe you've heard it, it's been referenced, but you don't really understand the whole scope of it and how it came to be. Because all of it wasn't conspiracy. Some of that stuff was legitimately proven things that led to other things dealing with Hillary Clinton, and the list goes on. All right. Thank you so much, Truman Show. Nice name. For the $5 super chat. Erika just gives me the ick. The whole TPUSA gives me the ick. And for us who have a soul, know something isn't right. Exactly. That part. If Candace was still working at TPUSA, they would not have been able to get away with this. No marriage, no kids, no. Veronica gets it. I need more people to be like Veronica. Veronica gets it. She gets it. She gets it. You wouldn't have been able to pull this off. Especially the whole Ben Shapiro joining AmFest. Come on, bro. Candace got a big old mouth. Candace would have been like that stereotypical black woman running her mouth, shutting all that down. I believe that. And I'm not letting Candace Owens off the hook in all regards. I'm saying, but in this case, I do believe that. Thank you so much. Is it Ganesh Journey for the super chat? If he is alive, how does he re-enter society? Great question, but I think it's similar to Jeffrey Epstein. But because I don't know, I mean, we had almost 5,000 people watching this at one point in time. I want to be careful with my words, and I don't want to just be reckless because his family or his friends could see this. So I'm going to just say they have ways to do it. We're on YouTube, so I'm just going to be responsible with that, with answering that. But thank you for the question. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, TJ. Didi, I loved your videos. You loved them. You don't love them anymore? I loved your videos, all of your research, and your biblical take on everything. You've opened my eyes to a lot of things. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. All praise go to the Most High. I pointed my brothers to your page recently. Praise Jesus. Amen. Amen. Shout out to your brother. Shout out to your family. I appreciate that, TJ. Mrs. Clark. Always be true. Thank you so much for the final super chat. Maybe he thought they were faking his white freedom shirt versus black. Yeah. But they meant to. It wasn't shut the. Oh, you going the other way around. But they meant to, for real. Yeah, I thought about that. Or at least I thought about the other way around. Maybe he planned to fake it, but they actually took him out for real. I've heard some people say that. But I don't know if I've heard someone say they meant to unalive him for real, but he wasn't. I don't know. That's interesting. Louder for the be nice. Be nice, Veronica. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Wolfie. People actually think that Charlie lived in a $5 million home and was doing business with all the Zionists and had no idea about anyone's history. Wolfie gets it. Wolfie gets it. Wolfie gets it. I'm not saying that the dude knew every his hands are not clean. You hiring multiple people that your friends around you telling, like, bro, this person is extremely shady. What are you doing? Stop while you're ahead. And they continue to do it. Yeah, okay. He's not the only one. I think Officer Tatum is dirty too. But that's a conversation for another day. $5 super chat. And what I just said about Officer Tatum, I mean that allegedly. He's literally dirty. He just needs to take a shower. Thank you for the $5 super chat. CK and EK are the same, but EK was worse. They probably blackmailed Charlie Kirk. PDF style. EK is a witch. CO was naive when it came to CK, but will be vindicated. Can I pin this comment? That's how I'm going to respond to you. Can I pin this? Can I pin this? Can I pin this? Thank you for always bringing us great content. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Missy Land, as always, arguably my number one supporter. The quote-unquote left narrative was planned just like everything else. Right. Watch Chase Hughes' video about Sirhan 4 years ago in RFK. The parallels are crazy. Yes, I agree with you. And here's the thing, Jessica, they're not going to stop because they push this political nonsense and they're going to continue to push it so that they can always have this to fall on. These people are behind closed doors laughing at people. They're saying, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just tell them that the left did it. It's fine. It's fine. Tell them that he was conservative. They'll believe it. Right. Because even if it was people that was that radical that attempted to do it, how are they always successful? You say, well, they're not always successful. Look at Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Was that what we thought it was, though? Was it? Because that kid was immediately taken out. How convenient. But I digress. Thank you so much for the follow super chat, Kitty Cat. Hey, Didi, I love your videos and your take. Core Belief has something important they want you to know. I'm sending this on their behalf. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Are you sending it on email or what? fake death, knowing Candace would expose the truth. I'm not sure I follow, Rondo. Are you saying I need more information there? Because I feel like I might know what you're saying. Sorry, Didi, I think they left. Okay. All good. All right. You said Jay-Z best Nas. That's not accurate. A little consensus that Nas won that battle, and Jay admitted it on Blueprint too. Did I say that? I think I meant to say it the other way around. That's fair, though. James, I appreciate it. That's fair. Ain't got nothing to do with this video, but that was random. Okay. Butler, Pennsylvania, that kid thought he got hired by Secret Service to guard Trump. Really? I don't know. Your name is Houdini. Harry, you're not trying to trick me, are you? That's interesting, because that would have been the perfect way to set him up. Make him believe he's actually helping protect Trump, and they take him out. Somebody else fires that shot to actually take Trump out, and whether they connect or not, that's possible. I mean, it's possible. But again, I have to see more or hear more about it. Truth over everything. Amen. Amen. Bro Cheney. Charlie must have trusted Candace a lot. I don't know. The Book of Revelation. Hologram theory has been around for a long time. I believe that's why people's reactions were off. Yeah. Yeah. I saw somebody debunk the hologram theory. I may have to go back. I believe it's the They Live Truth channel. I may have to go back and watch that. I thought of that too. Didi, are you never? Not secret, not public, not nothing. I would never do that. All right, one more comment. Candace needs to jump on this train and get going on it. Even if Candace has entertained this possibility, now, later, I'm sure she's seen the theories online, because I think she said a couple of times on her channel, Charlie's actually deceased, for those of you that may not think so. Something to that effect. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. Maybe he is. Maybe she knows something that I don't. But based on the information I've had, I don't see any irrefutable proof that suggests that. But I do believe that it's 50-50 for sure. You know? So, all right. Somebody else just sent one. Okay. Two more super chats. All right. Zionist Messiah, Patsy, George Zinn accused of falsely confessing, faces up to 50. No one is talking about this. Nobody is talking about this. I thought about doing a video on it. I thought he was convicted. I think here, let's look that up in real time. I believe that man's been convicted. Has George Zinn been convicted? Yeah, he's sentenced to prison. Here, let's see if I can pull that up in some way for you. Okay, I get what you're saying. He has been convicted. He just hasn't been sentenced to time yet. Okay, I see what you're saying. Fair enough. Thank you so much for the follow super chat, by the way. Thank you as well, right here, James, for the follow super chat. You said JGB. Right. I got you. I understand. All right, y'all. Love y'all, man. I'm gonna get up out of here. Okay, maybe not. Stacy, hello. Thank you for the $20 super chat, bro. You the only mofo out here keeping things real. Thank you for not. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's probably the most polite way I've ever been called a mofo. Thank you. I appreciate it. Big time. But it's other people, though, I think is pretty genuine in this. But again, I don't watch a lot of other people. Just too overwhelming. Anyways, thank you for the $5 super chat, Ms. Jilly. Sudden push to say CK is alive by big channels. Feels coordinated to say save Erika's reputation after Candace's open letter. And not talking about you, Didi. Yeah. I like talking to y'all, man. You know why? Because when you talk to the world, there's so many different thoughts and opinions, and it keeps you on your toes. But the reason why I like it so much is because I don't share everything that I'm thinking all the time, because I'm contemplating and I'm entertaining or trying to weigh out if I should entertain certain theories. And when you all say something, I'm like, well, that was number 4 on my list, or number 5 on my list. I just gave you all number 2, the top 2 things I'm considering. So I like that you all keep me on my toes. That's dope. Has anybody else, though, I'll give it about 30 seconds before I end this video. Has anybody else besides Jesse on Fire entertained the Charlie Kirk is alive theory? Because I don't know if I've seen anybody else entertain that possibility of a larger channel size, that is. Charlie is deceased. He wouldn't allow this to happen to his company or his wife, even if she played a part in his money. I understand why you think that, and that's possible. I'm not saying anything we've said in this video is true, by the way. Everything we said is alleged, and we're just entertaining theories. I'm not trying to defame anyone. But I will say this. If the theory that we entertain is true, then you can't care what happens to your company. What can you do? Call people and talk them into defending? No, what can you do? Once you commit to doing something like this, you're in a whole different program. But that's a conversation for another video. I don't want to get too deep into that. Again, we're on YouTube. But all right, y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for your support. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. It really, really helps the video. It helps with the algorithm. My videos don't get a lot of likes sometimes in relation to the views. So if you can please hit the like button, I would appreciate it so much. Link to the Patreon, link to the videos that Jimmy's video and Niscee's video will be in the description. I'm about to add them now. And link to the merch store. We've added 7 to 10 new designs. Go take a look if you don't mind, and you want to support me in any other way. I love y'all, man. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one as always. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi. Peace.
Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.
Attitudes and our work ethic become very important in realizing our goals and opening up possibilities. I had lunch a couple of weeks ago with a recent graduate at UCA. And his story is really fascinating. It's one of overcoming homelessness during his time pursuing his degree, first at a community college here in Arkansas, and then finishing his bachelor's degree here at UCA. His narrative ranges from estrangement from family for many years to a hopeful reunion with mother and siblings. His record is one of overcoming odds in a way that I probably could not, and certainly demonstrating levels of tenacity and patience and optimism that I can only marvel at. He wanted to talk with me about his new job and his career path going forward. I really need to be there to learn from him because that's where the real value was.
Everything I say in this video is alleged. Allegedly. No such thing as a life that is better than yours. Y'all can just repeat after me. I really appreciate it. Alright? No such thing. Come on, we can do better than that. Talk to me. Alright, let's start it over. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. You're worse than the rich white people or the rich white Jews that own these record labels, because they don't even understand these populations. You have a lot closer relationship to these people, and you're leading them to hellfire. You are leading them in the wrong direction in the name of getting rich and famous. How dare you?
Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.